teaching in Korea really worth it? The short answer is yes, but the long answer, whew, let's get into it. Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Lita. Thank you so much for being here today. And if you're returning, thank you for being part of my community. So let's get into this video. Is teaching in Korea really worth it? Or rather, is it still worth it? Should people still come and teach English in Korea in 2026? Okay, so I think it is worth it if you're not planning on being here long term. Okay, so in my case, I came here in November 2022. I came here via an agent. And well, how I actually got interested in teaching English, I didn't know anything about it like many people. Because if I knew about teaching in English sooner, I probably would have come here sooner. So a friend of mine at the time, this is like maybe 2018, 2019, she went to teach English in China. So this was like the first experience I've ever had with knowing anyone that was teaching English abroad, was my friend Ulikona. And so she was there for a couple of years. And then when she returned, I was like, wow, I'm really actually interested in this because I was unemployed at the time for like 3 years. And I was just like, no, I can't keep doing this. Like, guys, my life was just a mess. I was in a rut. I was just depressed. I was like, I need to leave South Africa. Honestly, I felt like I had no choice. I honestly wanted better for myself. I just wanted a different situation for my family because things were just rough. And I was like, if I go overseas, maybe things will be a little bit better. You know, I'll be able to give something every single month and that could maybe make a difference. So I do think it's important to think about the why. Why do you want to come and teach English in Korea? And what do you want to get out of the experience? So like I said, honey, I just wanted some money. Okay, so 2021, I started the process with my documents going to China now, okay, because I had the information from my friend. So I was like, okay, let me go to China. But China was still very strict at the time, you know. There was a lot of quarantine happening and it was not easy to get into China. And you needed a lot of money on your own because the school was not going to pay for you to quarantine. And I was like, I don't have money. I have nothing to my name. How on earth am I going to go to China? Fast forward 2022, I start the process again. I had to redo my documents and I was like, let me look into teaching English in Korea. In 2022, I didn't know anyone that was teaching English here. I saw a lot of creators on YouTube and they were sharing their stories both teaching in China and in Korea. So I was just relying mostly on what I was researching that I found on YouTube and Google, and I found, you know, that I can come via Epic or I can come the hagwon route, which is like using private agents. And so I was desperate to leave South Africa. I was like, I want to go now. I'm not going to apply to Epic and wait like 6 months and then like I'm not doing it. So I interviewed with 2 or 3 schools and then I just ended up deciding on the 3rd school because I was like, oh, it looks really nice. I didn't know any of the cities. Obviously, I had never been to Korea. I had never been abroad. So it was going to be my first time. So I really searched so many things that I had no idea about Korea. From the time I got the interview, everything took 3 weeks. And then I told my family like the week before and I was like, oh guys, I'm going to Korea. They were like, what? I mean, they knew that I was busy with the documents, but then I told them, oh, I'm leaving next week, Thursday. They got the shock of their lives. But I knew I was making the right decision. I didn't know anything other than what I researched. I was like, you know what? Hey, let me go to Korea. I am pretty sure it's going to be better than the situation I'm in right now. I don't want to be dependent on anybody. I want to make money for myself. I want to build wealth. I just want my situation to change. I'm going to Korea. Prayed about it. And I was in Korea. I have honestly learned so much living abroad. I don't know if it makes a difference that it's in Korea, but I learned how to be resilient. I learned how to survive and be on my own because you are far away from your family. Even though I had lived alone in varsity, I really had a positive attitude. I was like, you know what? Things are going to be great. I'm going to have a really great experience. It's a new country, new culture, new food. I'm going to meet new people. And trust me, I had the experience of a lifetime, and I still am having the experience of a lifetime. I really do love living in Korea. I mean, compared to South Africa, when it comes to safety, being in a country or being in a place where I feel safe is really, really important to me. And that's one of the reasons why I really loved coming to Korea. And that's not to say that, things don't happen to a person here, you don't get harmed in any way. But look, coming from South Africa, hey, babe, we are in paradise. I've also been able to be financially secure. And that's been one of the biggest things in my life. I just want financial security. I want financial freedom. And being here has really enabled me to do the things that I've been wanting to do. It's almost like I'm playing catch up with myself because I was unemployed for so many years. So things that I really wanted to invest in, things I wanted to buy, I got the opportunity as soon as I got to Korea. I was able to save money. I was even able to send money home to my mom every single month. When I was working full-time as a teacher, I was sending my mom money. I still am. I was sending her money every single month. I'm really happy that now I have a very good relationship with money. And I learned that from teaching here in Korea. Everywhere you will go, there will be something, and as long as I am Black, I am melanated, mad things are going to happen to me. Okay. And let's leave it at that. But also, I came to Korea and I was like, you know what? I don't care about all that stuff because I'm here to get my money and be out. So I honestly gave myself like 2 or 3 years. I was going to be in Korea for 2 or 3 years, and then that's it. I really don't think it's worth it teaching here long term because there's no room for growth. And also in terms of the salary, like it's so stagnant. I mean, teachers were complaining 10 years ago. They're still complaining, same complaint. The salary is just low, especially if you have experience. And a lot of us are really educated, people have masters, PhDs, and you're getting like 2.6, 2.7, like the most. That is low. The birth rate is really low. So if you think about now in 10 years' time, do you really think that teaching English is really going to be something that is a sustainable job here? Because even now, there's a lot going on. A lot of hagwons are closing down. There's not enough kids. In my previous school, I had only 2 5-year-old classes, and the rest I had like 5 or 6, like 7 or 7-year-olds. There was like 5 or 6 classes, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is scary. I don't think this is something I could do long term. But also, in my case, I never wanted to be a teacher. This is something that I grew to love, to be honest. I didn't even think I could be a good teacher, but I am. And I've really enjoyed it. It's been such an amazing experience because it's something new. I never thought in my entire life that I was going to be a teacher. And my mom's a teacher, but it never crossed my mind that that's something. I always thought I was going to go into acting because that's what I studied. I just decided to think differently, and I said, let me come and teach and see how it is. But you know what? The kids are the best part of the job. So if you also want to enjoy your time teaching here, you have to love kids. You have to care about their well-being. Because there are going to be times where it's going to be hard, babe. The workload. First of all, the work culture here is a lot. It's really a lot. I would still be teaching full-time if in the hagwon life we got like a month off. I mean, we only get 11 days out of 365 days. 11 days to rest out of 365. That is actually ridiculous. That is why I say this is not something you can do long term. You will be burnt out and tired. And that's what happened to me. At the end of my second contract, my mental health was in the pits. Hey, I was like, I can't keep doing this. I'm sorry. It's a lot. You need to be very, very strong. And I don't even mean physically, I mean mentally. You need to come here being prepared emotionally, be prepared physically, like be in good health, be in good spirit, because you will go through a lot of things. And it's not something you can predict. Anything can happen. Your director changes on you. Something happens with the parents don't like you or something. You are fired. You don't know what happened. You didn't do anything. You're just fired. Hey. And then you need to think, what do I do next? That's what a lot of teachers do at midnight run. Do you understand how bad the school needs to be to do a midnight run? Because that means you can never come back into the country again to teach, ever. Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. And that's why I always say to myself, I never ever want to work full time in a hagwon ever again, because of the hours, because of the working environment. And I'm not saying this to scare you, because there are some schools that are good, but I can only speak on my experience, and it is tough. And I know that you see teachers on social media and you think, wow, they're having a great time. Because I have met a lot of teachers who have come here after me and they said, Lita, I saw your videos. It looks like you're having such a good time. I'm like, girl, we have to. Honey, you're working, slaving away. You have to create your own happiness here. The foreigner community here is so big, like not just in the South African one, but you can meet so many other foreigners too. And, share your experiences and just create genuine friendships here. I think when you move abroad for the first time, you think, wow, this is great. And you really see that there are so many other opportunities here. Not just for teaching English, but you can teach English, of course, in many other Asian countries, but also there are other jobs that you can do here in Korea that don't involve teaching English. But of course, you have to speak Korean. Or at least be able to have a conversation with someone. So again, that also strictly in that. But again, that is also something that you can do, can be a goal for yourself moving here, learning a new language. Wow. So I think most teachers will agree with me when I say that your experience here really depends heavily on your school. Because if you get a really, 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 really bad school, man, it's really going to affect you negatively here. Really, it doesn't matter how great your social life is here, but you are at work a lot and you need to be in a very good working environment. It shouldn't be toxic. You should be able to do your job well. Pray about it. Get on your knees, babe. Pray about it and really, really ask God, the universe, and be like, hey, please, I'm just looking for a good job that's going to be a good working environment for me, where I can grow as a person, grow as a teacher, and not have my mental health suffer. It does make it a little bit easier that the school provides you accommodation. So it's like, oh, at least I don't have to pay rent, so you can save a little bit more. So it's also another plus. So I'm currently now doing tutoring. I was working full time, but I'm like, I can't do it. I really can't, which is why I was saving. And so this entire year, I've been living off my savings and the money I've been making from social media. I realized that I have a lot of other passions that I'd really love to explore here in Korea. And then I met my husband. And I was like, okay, well, hey, I'm staying. So he was part of the reason. But honestly, when I saw how much money I was making from content creation here in Korea, I was like, oh my goodness, this is definitely something I'm going to be doing full time. This is, because wow. So with public schools, I do think that the teacher is a little bit more protected and a bit more secure in that. So I feel like there are less horror stories compared to hagwons, because hagwons, I mean, the government has nothing to do with it. Like if something happens, they're not gonna get involved, because it's a private institution. So the treatment can be anyhow, and it will be you against your director's word, and that's it. There are institutions that you can go to for help when it comes to situations you find yourself in as an English teacher in Korea. And there are also unions that really help the teachers. So I do think that it is a little bit better now, but I just feel like the stress and the long hours and the limited vacations, and it's just, I honestly feel like overall it's not worth it. And the salary, I mean, we make minimum wage here in Korea. It's just, that's why I'm like, a year or two, fine, great. But if you're planning on being here for years and years, I don't know, you might probably end up doing something else, because your salary is not going to really increase that much. And also, in terms of growth, like I said before, the most she could be is like a head teacher. So it's very important to do your research and make sure that, hey, okay, this is where I want to be. But also, it's just a year, you know, your contracts are usually a year and you can come here for a year. If you don't like it, you can go. It's really not that deep. So it's completely up to you. You decide. With that said, I hope this video is helpful for you if you are someone who is thinking about coming to teach English here. But yeah, at the end of the day, it is your decision and you should always do what is best for you. Bye.